Hey guys, Lise here, and in this video I really just wanted to walk you through how I'm thinking about 2025, how I'm planning things, all the things I'm taking into consideration given that we are going to be traveling full-time for the next 2 years. In particular, this first stint we are doing 3 months at a time. So all the things, right? Literally all the things. So I thought that I would just kind of walk you through a little bit of how I'm thinking about these things. Now, I have already made some decisions, so it definitely makes things a lot easier. But I thought I'd just kind of draw this out and hopefully we can get it so that it doesn't pick up the ring light that you guys are seeing. But basically, this is going to replicate my post-it note wall. So we've got January, February, March here, and then I'm basically just going to sit down and write a few different things. So for January, we are going to already be in Vietnam. We'll already be set up. I am not officially back from my vacation till sort of around January 20th. So I've got a few things to think about. So in terms of how I start to plan things out is for January specifically, I know that I've got Yin Yang Academy is on. So that's already there, so Yin Yang, and that is a new group program. So I know that that is 12 weeks, right? So I've got that up on there. So we're also going to have the Beyond Social Selling is also on at the same time, about a week apart from each other. And that is going to be 6 weeks. So I know that that is kind of on there. So yeah, so it's going to be 12 weeks, 6 weeks. So it's important for me to kind of know that. Then for February, I'm starting to go, okay, so I know those two programs are starting. I had thought about doing RPA, so Recurring Profits Academy, the 6-week boot camp in January, but that's not going to make sense when I've already got these two running. Now, to be clear, the two that are going to be running in January, the promotion period for these will happen in December. In fact, Yin and Yang Academy is happening in November. There's like a pre-sale window. So I wanted to kind of give you that. The Beyond Social Selling, keep your eyes out for that. That will be promoted sort of the last week of December, first week of January, right? So when you're sitting down and planning out your programs and your promotions and things like that, these are the things that you just kind of have to think about. So then as we go into February, it makes sense to put RPA in there. And this is 6 weeks. So we've got RPA. So RPA 6 weeks in February, which means that I will be promoting it in January. So every time I map things out, initially I would have had, I had an idea of that I wanted to do RPA in January, but it doesn't make sense when I've already got 2 programs that I'm actively doing. And what I mean by that is anytime I do something live, then I have to think about the promotion piece. I could get all my ducks in a row and have everything scheduled out, but the reality is that's probably not going to happen because I tend to do things about 2 weeks in advance, and that's just so I can be flexible. So RPA in February, and then potentially we might also do the non-fiction author incubator, which is currently, I think it's actually 12. The reason why I'm not sure is because I know that I was thinking about making this a little bit shorter. So you can just kind of see how things are starting to come out. So my rule of thumb is to only have 2 live programs per month. And even then that's a little bit too much. But I do know that this first half of the first quarter is where a lot of my audience like to plan and do things. So it makes sense to do these types of programs then. And then when it gets to March, I'm probably not going to worry too much about that. I'll probably think about opening doors back up for TCM Doors Open, because the plan is to open that every kind of quarter. So I just want to kind of walk you through these each individually so that you can kind of understand how that works. So because we've got 2 in January, 2 in February, and then March, we'll have space. If I wanted to do another live program, I could, but if I'm going to do a TCM Doors Open, then I'll probably do more of a live challenge or a get it done implementation week, something along those lines. So I really just wanted to share this because I've got these two in January. It means that promotion happens in December, and then these two here in Feb will be balanced towards the last 2 weeks of January in terms of promotion. And then for March, TCM doors might open towards the end of March. So this is kind of how I start to plan things out. And the reason why I do it on the post-it note wall, as you've just seen, this can get a little bit messy, is because then I can just pick a post-it note up and move it around. So I just wanted to share that process. It's nothing crazy. There's no secret sauce to it. It's really just thinking through the following questions. 1, when am I doing something live? And then 2, if I'm doing something live, when do I need to start promoting it? And here's the thing, I typically recommend that your promotion window is at least 2 weeks before you actually want the thing to start, right? So whatever that looks like for you, just think about it from that perspective. 2 weeks before is when you're going to do the promotion, but you also need to allow for maybe another week to 2 weeks to do the nurturing content. So it just depends, right? It depends on how big your promotion is going to be, how long it's going to be, and how that fits into your own plans, which is why it's so important to sit down and be intentional about your promotions, right? I could, and I have sat down and just kind of done things on a Friday and then started promoting on the Monday, but that's a lot of stress and pressure. So I definitely recommend that you go ahead and sit down and intentionally plan all this stuff out. And I've got 2 resources for you that you will find below. The 90-day planning Trello dashboard, you can grab that. But then also just a monthly promotion plan and how you can kind of start to map these things out for yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next video.